Really? It's gonna be a car driving by. It's loud. Messed up the last video too. How do I do this? How do I talk in front of a camera about things that are salient? How do I do that? Well, let's start then. All right, so yesterday I posted a little video about like me panicking over my voice not working properly or whatnot. And the thing is, I was just in therapy and we were talking about that a lot. And because like that's been a big focus in therapy for me. And well, like I mentioned in the little panic vlog I made yesterday, I actually had a really good performance on Saturday at this place called the Danny Clint Transparent Gallery in Asbury Park, New Jersey. And I felt spiritually locked in with everything when I was performing that day. It just was a magical moment. Like I was belting high G sharps, even A's, even B's, literally. And like I sang 3.5 octaves and it was all expressive and I was able to, you know, fit the lyrics and everything. It was just fantastic. And I want more of that. My therapist congratulated me and told me to take ownership of that moment. I also sang her this song that I wrote while in the bathroom. When the battle's done, will you care? When the battle's won, will you still have the nerve? When they're lost to time, will there be joy in your life? Or will you seek again another cause to defend? Everybody's got an enemy to bear, and everybody's fraught with their own codes of concern. And if it's all they are, when they seek so far, do they have a chance in forthcoming circumstance? So yeah, I sang that to her, and it was fun to do. That's the thing she mentioned. You gotta sing from joy. You gotta speak from the heart. There's someone behind me, so I'm a bit nervous. Like oftentimes, what'll happen with me is I'll sing out of fear. And she noticed this. It was so on the mark when she mentioned this to me that like I sing to prove something so often rather than to sing out of the initial reason to. When I realized that, that's what happened last weekend when I sang on that Clubhouse meeting that I mentioned in the video yesterday as well. Here. So this is what happened at Clubhouse last week. On Clubhouse, I was on this songwriters club and like the songwriters chat room. Yeah, let's call it a chat room. And I was driving at the same time. I joined it impromptu. It was just came up on my notifications. I decided to join it. And people were performing songs. I did not expect to perform so promptly, but they mentioned my name and ultimately decided to have me, you know, sing something. I decided to abide by that. And I didn't even know what I was going to sing. I wasn't fully prepared mentally or physically. I just eaten 2 fajitas. And I decided not to drink my water right next to me for some reason. It all was a mess. And basically I was straining the whole way through. I felt like I had an octave of proper range at the bottom of my range. And it just was not working. And, you know, I had this whole, like, you know, the whole baritone anxiety or whatnot that still lingers in me a bit. And what, they cut me off early, even. They literally cut off my mic like 3 minutes into when I was performing the song Burden of Proof. My dear, it's hot out here. Every day bears the burden of proof. Make things right, impress them in your suit. Winners play for gold each day, each night. You are too special to lose this fight. That song. And I was straining the whole time. And they just kept hearing that over and over again. On end. As did I, singing it. It was a mess. And what was I doing in the end? I was not prepared to sing. It was not something I was doing out of a willingness to, honestly. It was something I was doing out of an obligation to, and a fear that if I don't, then I'm not living up to standard. It was done out of fear. My therapist pointed this out right then and there. And she's totally right. Let me see if I can get this right. Hold on. It's a hard song to sing, honestly, because, like, for one, it covers 2 octaves within seconds. And it also starts right on the passaggio. So, yeah, that was a nice round F sharp 4. That's the note it starts on. Every day. Every day bears the burden of proof. Make things right, impress them in your suit. It's also an F in 5/4, not F, 5/4, it's in B. Winners play for gold each day, each night. You are too special to lose this fight. Oh, 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 carry your load and feel the push of the brakes as your mind starts to ache. Marry the grind as you push close to the light and feel the pull of the night. It's supposed to go something like that. Yeah, I'm noticing actually as I do this right now, like, you know, it's hard for me to pull off because I'm not letting it fully come from joy. At least I can think through that and through that lens of it. That, like, am I singing authentically? I mean, there's also my constant sinus issues, but, you know, getting so insular. Every day, no. I also feel like someone's watching me, but anyway, no one is. But like I'm a performer, welcome the watching, you know. Every day bears the burden of proof. Make things right, impress them in your suit. That's what you did. Okay. You know what it is? As far as being a performer, the whole intention or standard of performance is that you have to bare your soul in front of a crowd. If you can't bare your soul in front of someone, in front of a group, in front of people who have no concern about you, then Are you really performing? You know? Like, a part of me knows what I am, you know? And a part of me knows I'm still learning. But, like, the tools are in me. And in the end, it's me that either bolsters that, makes use of that, or instead gets in the way of, obfuscates, interferes with that. I think the last few videos I've posted on here actually have exhibited me being rather insular with myself and not allowing the full me to come out. I know that's such a nebulous thing to say, but what is it? Well, that was something. I just visited my 4th grade teacher's husband's house. They're still together. I met him first, and my teacher didn't recognize me, and not just for reasons obvious. I mean, she couldn't readily place who I was. I mean, I don't know if she was aware of what my original name was, you know, but yeah, that was interesting. He, her husband, had taught me a bit about lawn mowing. Like, he let me use his mower. That was fun. A lot of the time I was a bit anxious about, like, I don't know, not knowing how to answer certain things. And also, like, of course, you know, being perceived as, like, a man who hacked his body to become a woman or something, you know, as opposed to just being the woman I am today or whatnot. And that was a bit agonizing. But how do I segue back to every day bears the burden of proof? How do I segue back to that? I mean, ultimately, well, for one, I already proved earlier in this vlog that I can sing. I sang a song that I just wrote this morning, and that went fine. Just this damn burden of proof thing that I have put so much stress on myself about because I want it to come out so right. And I have some conflicts about how it should be sung anyway. And indeed, I sang this song at the clubhouse meeting that I mentioned. You know, it's a mess. It's a shame that underneath this pretty face is a lot of anguish. Makes her look a lot uglier. But you know what, I guess I am a shy extrovert because that rejuvenated me a bit. I was a bit shy, but like at the end of the day, I love having people around and being able to talk to them and see who they are, you know, and have quality time with them. I got that today, you know, with a couple septuagenarians who, you know, still have a lot of life in them, and that was nice. Winners play for gold each day, each night. You are too special to lose this fight. Don't play back the clip. That's from me to me. Besides, it's too nice a day to agonize over how my voice comes out or, you know, how I appear to people. I mean, at least I'm dressed fairly and can sing somewhat, you know. A lot of people aren't like that. But you know what? I believe most people can reach that standard, if not almost all. Sometimes I feel stuck in a playground, nowhere to be found, no soil to grow. Sometimes I feel like I can't go back again. I'm just a sandbox friend, nobody's at home. The thing is, at the core, I somewhat do have that inclination to sing just to feel sane. And when I feel like that's been taken away from me, you know, as dysphoria and, you know, social forces have done in some ways, can really affect my self-esteem and sense of peace. And I'm glad that my therapist and I are, colluding to help me get to a better place with all that. Yeah. I could have been so many people. I could have been so many children. I could have been so many screw-ups. I chose to be this one then. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut. It needs to go my way. I want to build something better than nothing. Please, feels I'm only here to stay. I just want to grow up and be that tough. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut. It needs to go my way, and I want to build something better than nothing. Feels I'm only here to stay. I was younger than I am, and not much has changed but that fact. I could be more than the same, but what good is it to fight fate? I just ask her that she flees away from me, from in control of these bluest degrees. Wishes and precautions, sandbox modes and coffins, things that never set me free. It's so surreal, though, to not be remembered by someone who knew you somewhat intimately for a year, I'm not saying it's hurtful. I'm not saying that I feel sadness over it, but it is a bit weird, especially since coupled with the fact that I am trans, that that probably factors into it a bit. I look very different from how I did back then. Or at least different from how one would expect me to look, It's an interesting place to be. Yeah. I feel some good about it, and then some confusion and unresolvedness about it, but honestly maybe even a bit of pleasure. It's kind of cool to have a totally separate life from the same life you've lived, It's a power that not everyone gets. Not everyone gets to live with full, true renaissance, Not everyone gets that. And even then, we all have some paper trail. I know I've experienced that. It's just I've had to move on from a lot of people. And who knows where to go from here. Well, I guess I know somewhat. I have a lot more faith, at least now, in my art, regardless of what anyone says, It's me. And part of me is very proud of it. That song Playground, I was so very critical of it because I felt to an extent the lyrics didn't make sense, but I think they're very evocative lyrics, especially the way I've written and sung them, so I can definitely feel the soul of it, which is the main point. Even if it can't be fully quantized into a finite meaning, it still has that aura of meaning and intention and feeling and thought behind it, so I think it serves its purpose. A purpose. Maybe even multiple purposes. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut. It needs to go my way. I want to build something better than nothing. Feels I'm only here to stay. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut. It needs to go my way. I want to build something better than nothing. Feels I'm only here to stay. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut.
It needs to go my way. I want to build something better than nothing. Feels I'm only here to stay. Sometimes I feel stuck in a playground, nowhere to be found, no soil to grow. Sometimes I feel like I can't go back again. Just a sandbox friend, nobody's at home. I could have been so many people. I could have been so many children. I could have been so many screw-ups. I chose to be this one then. I just want to grow up and be that tough. To let go just doesn't cut. It needs to go my way. I want to build something better than nothing. Feels I'm only here to stay. I was younger than I am, and not much has changed but that fact. I could be more than the same, but what good is it to fight fate? I just ask her that she flees away from me, from in control of these bluest degrees. Wishes and precautions, sandbox modes and coffins, things that never set me free.
All right, so now I'm like, what's the point of this?